I don't want to talk.
Breaking Beige is the journey of three 30-something mums trying to figure out who the hell they are post-babies. We can't be the only ones who feel like this. Who the fuck are we now? Just a mamas wearing thin. We want more. Finding our strengths, ditching the activewear and washing our hair. This is the journey of how we will gain our self-worth back and inspire you to do the same. Break the beige. Be a hot bitch.
I don't want to talk.
Hey guys.
Hey. Right. Tonight, we thought we'd just have a little mini chat about how honest we are with our children, and when they ask these difficult questions, do you soften it or you just go straight to the hard truths? I'm excited for this one.
How hard are the truths?
All right.
Gigi on tech support, hey.
Thanks, Gigi.
What a woman. So many hats.
Yeah,
So many hats, babe.
Turn it off and turn it back on.
Oh yeah, radio to Sam. We have a disaster.
So ins and outs. Do you have one, Kate?
My in is, this is going to be controversial. My in is school holidays coming up.
Yes.
Love school holidays. Love my kids being home. Love hanging out in my jammies.
Love not making school lunches.
10 a.m.
yeah.
Love not making school
Sometimes
lunches.
I still make a school lunch box, and then it's easier for like the snack requests all day.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a hot
That's
tip.
amazing.
Yeah, it is admin. Sorry,
It's great.
another controversial opinion.
Yeah. So don't have those, okay?
Out.
Out. My other in this week was that we had a school disco. Ted was like so super keen to go, like went and just had a rave. And I said to Poppy, "Are you keen to go, babe?" And she was like, "No." And this is just my fault in, like, this chick, she is just a vibe, this chick. She's so cool. And she just knows who she is. And she's like, doesn't matter like who was going or what was happening. She was just like, it's just not my thing.
That's cool at such
I'm
a
like,
young age.
Yeah.
You just know who you are. And I'm so jealous because I did not teach you that.
And we still don't know who we are.
who I am. I'm just really proud of that. I think
that's
it's
cool.
really cool. So that's
Yeah.
100% my in this week. Out dinners.
Yes.
Battle, constant battle. Guys, we are going to do a dinner episode
Yes.
to try and get
Ideas.
some ideas going. So we've got some stuff in the pipeline for that to help mainly us out. Because it is a journey.
Yeah, we just rinse and repeat the same
Oh my
foods.
gosh.
But I don't mind it. I don't know.
I don't know if I've said this before, but I remember hanging out with you and Jenna one day. I might have told this on the podcast before. And Jenna was like, what am I going to, like, of course, you know, I get this box thing.
My food bag with
My
Hello
food bag or
Fresh.
something. She was just like, honestly, like, what was I going to make? Spaghetti bolognese? And I had literally mince, pasta, tomato sauce stuff on the bench, and I was like shuffling it away. Like, I imagine doing that. Like, how ridiculous. And I was full like, it's spag bowl for tea. I'm not going to tell her.
Kids love it.
Got it though.
Great. Yeah.
I was like, oh, stink. Yeah, anyway.
Protein, fat, carb. Good.
We're good. We're
throw
good.
some
Fill them up, mate. Fill them up.
So weird sitting in the middle. I'm like, who do I look at?
It's awful, eh? And it's
having
actually
my
even
turn again.
awful being on the side because I couldn't really see G before, so when I was back here. So I'm just sitting forward.
Just get uncomfortable so you can see me. I appreciate
don't
the
mind.
effort.
Don't mind.
What's your ins and outs?
My in this week, and it'll be well gone by the time this is released, but my friend Lauren's coming back from Auckland this weekend.
Cute.
I haven't seen
We
her for
love
ages.
Lauren.
Don't tell her I said that though. Tell her I'm not excited to see her and that I don't like
Oh,
her.
yeah, that's right.
That's
You've got
how it
a
works.
hate-hate
relationship. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to catch up with her. And,
Cute. She's a
hang
ledge.
out. And my out is, I want to say dinners, but I just don't really
be
ever
with
fucking
me.
cook the dinners.
Be with me.
The school lunch box is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
definitely is.
yeah, and just the
Again-
constant snack requests. But
Yeah.
like Sam said to me, I listened to this thing and they said to create like a little snack area in your fridge that the kids can reach and just like fill it up with healthy stuff and like, or a area in the cupboard, and they can just help themselves. And I was like, well, Colin will literally go open the fridge. He's 18 months old. He'll go open the fridge. He'll pull out the block of butter and he'll go,
eat it?
Butter.
Yeah, my
and
kids
then after
love
a while,
butter.
he just starts like, there'll be teeth marks in the butter.
My kids love
Or
butter.
he'll go pull a saucepan of like rice, and he'll just go grab it out, and he'll sit down and he'll just start eating. And I'm like, am I not feeding you enough? Like, you eat all day. And he'll just go help
He's just a
himself.
boy.
It's so
That's
funny.
honestly what boys are like.
Yeah.
Ted's
Or
the
he'll just
same. He
eat
does
stickers.
not stop eating.
Stickers. There's protein. So yeah, those are my ins and outs this week. How about
Good
you?
ones. I wanted to read a message that I got from a friend of mine. So a couple episodes ago, we talked about like how we deal with like stress and when things are not going your way.
Yeah.
And she goes, just listen to the pod. I feel for you. That pit in your stomach feeling is so yuck. You're a super woman and they need downtime. I find being aware of my thoughts really helpful. I think about what you think about and see if certain thoughts are driving feelings or emotions. I also talk to somebody once a month, life coach. And she has given me amazing tools to make me shift in emotions and behaviours that I don't want in my life anymore. Anyway, just quick 2 cents from me, not that you asked for it. I think you're amazing and be kind. And then she said, anxiety isn't a weakness. Everybody goes through it. And I was just like, oh, thanks.
That's a cool message.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well
I had
said.
a couple of them saying, you get that too, you know, like, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I felt so nervous about releasing that and being like
you did
vulnerable.
it,
I felt
yeah.
a bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Superwoman removes her armor.
I
So like, I think the reason I did that was to like resonate with other women and people, and so getting that feedback was like, be like, okay, that was worth it.
yeah.
So that was a real in, and
And it was real brave. Good on you, babe.
thanks, mate.
It was.
Yeah, I'll just giggle that off, my nervous Dr. Hibbert giggle.
I can't. That's how I. Oh, anyway, we won't get into my laugh.
And then my out would be, leading up to school holidays. Like I have all my kids are so tired. And like you love school holidays. I do too, but the juggle of work, sometimes I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
that's
who's going to watch the kids?
yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other note, I love like the sleep-ins, the no school lunches, and that we've just got tears. I don't want to go to school. I don't like my teacher like saying these things. And I'm like, no, you do. You're just tired.
Yeah.
5 more days to go. Suck it up.
Yeah.
I'm tired too.
Yeah.
We're all tired.
Yeah.
So that would be my out.
Yeah. Hopefully, we get some nice sunshine as well.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
going back to your in about that message and you sharing about, you know, and like the anxiety. We talked about this the other day, and I said that I'd heard something about how like getting anxiety it's not actually a weakness. It's actually like it's inbuilt in you to get anxious and nervous about things because it's like a survival tactic, and it actually protects you from dangers because we like obviously we live in a completely different world than we did way back when we had to, you know, hunt
Cavemen.
and gather.
Yeah.
But actually anxiety is what keeps people alive.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I found that really, I heard that and I was like, it kind of flips it around for
we
you,
talked
doesn't
about
it?
this the other day, and I
Yeah.
had seen a video about it too, and it was like embrace it. Like if it's happening, your body's saying you're in danger. Like you need you need to do something.
Yeah.
and so you have to listen and be like, cool, my body's working.
Yeah.
Awesome,
And
You know,
acknowledge
like,
that thought.
Yeah,
It's okay. There's no threat.
yeah,
And then you have to, go
Process
move
it.
forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's actually
That's
a strong
interesting.
thing. It's
I like
actually a
that.
survival
Yeah.
thing.
So it's not something that you're trying to push away and be like, I don't want to ever get anxiety. It's
Yeah.
actually like a feeling that you should
yeah.
get. Like it's like a healthy feeling to get. But when you acknowledge it positively and be like, cool, you know, good, thank
Flip it
you,
around.
body.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it changes how you feel. Just, you know.
Cool. Thanks for the advice, guys.
2 cents. 4 cents. 4 cents.
I'll ring
2
you next
cents
time
each.
I'm feeling really anxious. You can talk me down.
Make it make sense.
Okay.
Talk her off the ledge. You can survive.
I can.
No, you're welcome. All right.
So this chat started around, Kate and I have talked about it quite a bit, and I have a super open, honest approach how I feel, because I've had times when I was young or didn't get things, and then I guess got a hard time because I said something but it wasn't real, but that's what I thought was real because I kind of wasn't explained it. So like for me, I don't think if they say, you know, where do babies come from, and you like say out your bum, and you're like, well, there's 2 holes, you know, just tell them it's the vagina, you know, because if they say babies come out bum,
3
well,
holes.
3 holes, sure. Like, but 2 holes they could actually fit out of. Well, oh,
Anatomy 101.
How do you know the baby can fit out the bum, Renee?
Are we?
episode over. Rewind. Fuck you two.
We have 3 holes.
Okay, so how do you piss?
She's a freaking freak of nature. Eh? She's
I know.
actually Superwoman. I'm like, does Superwoman only have 2?
Are we weird, Gina?
I hate you both right now.
No.
So
We love you though.
So there's lots of questions, and we've like had the chats in our household. Like it's always at the dinner table, and it's interesting about the information that you give your children, and that they're totally okay with that, and like they're not going anymore. Like Hoy at this conversation at the table was fucking silent, and I was like, Dad, would you like to contribute to this conversation? He was like, you got this. You're under wraps. You've got it. So Jax was just like, so how are babies made? And so I literally said, there's sperm in Dad's testicles, and they're all like, what? And I was like, and there's eggs in Mummy's tummy, and then the sperm goes into Mummy's tummy, attaches to the eggs, and then it grows. And like, sperm, what does sperm look like? So we Googled sperm, and it's like, yeah, but on
You should be a sex education teacher because that's a better education than I got at school.
But it's funny what they take out of this. So we're like, the fastest sperm, so there's lots of sperm that go in, and the fastest one that gets to the egg makes the baby. And they were like, so who was the fastest? And I was like, you were all the fastest because you're all here. And then so we brought up sperm on the internet, and the sperm kind of looked like highlighter blue. So now Jax is like
Neon.
sperm. You know that blue thing, Mum? I'm like, yeah, it's not really blue. And then now in his head, he says, I'm here now because I was the fastest. And that's how he thinks about it.
So when you're down the beach and there's 3 kids having a running race and one of them's like, I'm the fastest sperm. That's Renee's kid.
My kids.
Hey-oh.
So then the conversation at the dinner table ended, and they were so happy with that. And Hoy was looking at me. I was like, they didn't even ask how the sperm got
I
in
was
here.
going to say,
like,
did you go into how the sperm
Later.
gets in? Okay.
So then that happened that day, and like a couple of days later, Thea and I were driving into town, just her and I. She's 8. I know. And she goes, I feel a bit weird about this question, but I want to ask it to you. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then she goes, how does the sperm get in your tummy? And I was like, you're not going to probably like fully understand this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And I was like, penis goes into a vagina, and then the sperm shoots up into the tummy. She was like, ugh. And I was like, yeah, but you don't need to know about that too. You'll understand it when you get older and go through hormones, and you'll make it normal. And it's fine because Mummy and Daddies love each other, and that's fine. And then she was like, okay, I don't want to talk about this.
Me neither.
I'm so awkward. And I'm 37. I'm like, ooh, really? Is that what happens?
I thought I went through the belly button.
I don't get it.
But like everything like that, like we joke about, like I said it last thing, like I tell them that I get Botox, and like Mum doesn't frown, and they think it's a big joke. They're like, Mum's got Botox. They have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
But like Mum doesn't frown. They're like, frown Mum, and I can't, and they think it's hilarious. So I don't know. I just want them. I don't ever want them to get caught out with a mate or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, you don't even know what that is," because kids are mean. Like I want them to be educated, and I want them to be comfortable and know their shit.
Yeah.
That's my story.
Great theory, though.
What do you think?
Let's go, Kate.
Oh, God.
You're up. Hot seat.
So we've always said that this sounds so pathetic after your story.
Doesn't everyone's got their own?
So my kids are just quite like naive, and I don't know if
They're not naive. They're just like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like awkward, but I was just like, Dad's got a special seed. He gives it to Mum, and I make a baby.
Well, it's not wrong.
But that was like
Like a poppy seed?
yeah, and
Sesame
a seed. But that was like a few years ago, and then we had a conversation the other night at making dinner in the kitchen. The kids were sitting at the bench, and me and Bash were kind of making tea, and Ted was asking me about. He was asking us both about the seed, and so he was like, "So, Dad, have you still got special seed?" And he was like,
Oh, yeah.
but he's so Bash just can't cope, so he's just like, yeah, mate, yeah." And
Oh,
I'm
to
like,
be a fly on the wall in that conversation.
so good. And then I was like, yeah, Dad still has a special seed. He goes, "Can I see it?" And Bash was like, no, it's not secret. It's private seed. And, and I was just like, oh
So
my
old
God,
school,
I
like, like our dad's like type, yeah.
literally bad.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, so like, have I got it in me?" And I was like, "Yeah, boys are born with it, but girls don't have seed." Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah." And then we went down like this girlfriend chat, and he was like, "So how do I give my seed to someone?" And Bash is like, "No, you don't give it to anyone." and then it was like, when you find like a girlfriend and you really love her and you want her to be your wife, and then you get married, then you'll give her your seed. And he was like, "Well, how do I give it to her?" And Bash is like, "You'll know, mate. You'll know how to give it to her, mate." And I was like, oh my God, this is so fucking stressful. And then he said, "So where is it in my body?" And and I just like looked at Bash, and Bash was like, and Ted goes, "Is it in my nuts?" We were just like, oh my God, how does he know what nuts are?
I know exactly how it
He
goes.
goes, so he goes, "Yeah, no, Jax was telling me today that the seed's in my nuts."
That's the bad downside of being really honest with your kids. So, mate,
I was just going to say, I can imagine at the school, like,
I
all,
know,
all these
you
kids
can
getting all
just
these
see it.
different
Jax is
stories.
They're
educating them
probably
all.
full, like, just eating sandwiches like nuts, eh? That's where it is. I've got peanut
You're going to
butter.
finish off your
Yeah. Can I have a chip? Anyway.
chip broke and have got any seeds and nuts in your lunchbox.
Out, out. So then Bash got all like, oh, I might tap out. And I was like, well, we don't really say nuts. We probably say, and then I looked at Bash and I go, what would we say? And he goes, balls, mate. It's balls. And he was like, oh, yeah, okay. Then he was talking about like, can I squash my seed if I'm like, playing rugby or whatever, if I got tackled, would I squash my seed?
Yeah.
Bash was like, no, mate, your seed's sweet. Nah, righto, all right, kids, yeah, go wash your hands and, it's dinner now. And I was just like, oh my God, he's just dead, like, can't do it. I was like, that's probably enough for tonight. So that was that. But yeah, it's going to get worse and worse because we've sown the seed. Story of the seed. And now we're going to have to elaborate on the seed. But I think that's probably okay because we've done it in stages as they're probably ready.
Yeah, and it's
We're always
comfortable.
super open about
the
it.
teenage chat, like that's going
I
to get
know.
even more hectic. We've got
Yeah.
friends that have, there's like apparently this really awesome book and it's just like stick figures and it's like figures.
sticks.
With sticks and it's just like, what do you feel like you are? And it's like you point and it's like a boy or a girl. What do you feel attracted to? And then it goes through and all that kind of stuff. But like even our kids are not at this age and I'm not going to try and get a step, but even like head, BJs, blah, blah, like knowing that kind of stuff, like being a teenager, I had no idea.
I didn't know that stuff either.
And like I just think getting embarrassed in that way, like I just think teaching you, not now it's 8, but like when they get to that stage, knowing what these things
You take
are,
hold of that education rather than
yeah,
letting it
getting another
happen in
shithead
school
kid.
with Jax.
Jax is a real intense.
Renee's
kid,
like,
though,
look, I'm having this chat tonight. Your
Bring
son's
you.
going to know tomorrow. Like, be prepared.
Like he said to me the other day, he was like, so Mum, will I get in trouble if I don't want to be a husband? And I was like, no, mate, you don't have to get married if you don't want to. He was like, I don't want to get married. I'm like, that's okay. And then he goes, I don't want to have kids either. I'm like, that's fine. And I knew it was coming. He goes, I want to live with you forever. And I was like, well,
Dream. Until he's like 50 and he's still living with you.
He's like, I'm going to take over the family business.
do the waxing that Aaron
He's like, no, I
Mum,
definitely
let
don't
me
want to
at
get
those
married.
chicks, yeah.
I listen to these chicks all day. I definitely don't want to get stuck with one.
What about you, Gina? What's your like?
I feel like I'm redundant in the chat because
No, you're
our
not.
kids are 4 and 18 months.
Yeah, but you told me that story about the what? The vagina.
Oh, the vagina.
Yeah.
Oh, so the kids, that's not, yeah, like the kids were in the bath and they were just playing and then Frankie goes, oh, Mummy, Colin just kicked me in the nuts. And I was like, no, you don't have nuts, Frankie. And she was like, oh, and the vagina. It's like, oh, yeah, vagina. And she's like, vagina. And I was like, just went on and on. And she's like, oh yeah, I don't have nuts. Colin has nuts. Daddy has nuts. I have a vagina. You have a vagina.
Oh my God,
And
we
I was
did
like,
this at that
we
age
are
too.
educated. Like, we are done. And no more chat. She
So
definitely asked me where babies come from, and I've said that they've grown in my tummy. And
Yeah.
she loves to continue to call my tummy to this day
The
a
lovely
lovely
tummy.
tummy, which I know she's saying is a wobbly tummy. But no, it's. Yeah, I'm a little bit terrified. I suppose it's of having
What do
those
you
conversations.
think is the route you're going to take?
Oh, Christian. I don't know. Like Frankie's pretty. Like she takes everything in.
Yeah.
Like, everything. She
Yeah.
listens to everything, and she's a real thinker. Like it'll be nighttime. She'll be nearly asleep, and then she'll just be like. Pop told me a story about how his dog got hit by a car. What do you think a dog looks like when it gets hit by a car, Mummy? And then I was like, and she was like, and it's buried in, it's buried in Nana's garden, and I want to dig it up. What does a dead dog look like? And just like she just goes, and I'm like,
like
boy, you are a
Chucky's
thinker.
bride.
So I'm gonna probably have to take control of those thoughts. In
Yeah.
some way. But
Probably don't talk about dicks to her
I
just
don't-
now.
yeah, not right now. We're not doing that. But no, I don't know. I just don't want to think too much about it until it has to happen.
I
But I
think it just
feel like it
comes
gets
to you.
younger and younger. But yeah, how were you guys? Like, did your parents have that chat with you?
Oh my God, mine's so embarrassing.
Can you tell us?
Oh my God.
please.
My dad gave me my sex chat.
Oh my
Did he?
God.
Yeah, he's got 5 daughters. So literally,
Don't have sex.
live
with me
I had
forever.
like my boyfriend at the time, and I'd literally just had sex with him. And my dad, I don't know how
He
he
knew.
knew. He knew.
He knew.
And it was like the week after, must have been school holidays or
How
something.
old were you?
Young, I don't want to say.
Oh,
And-
sorry.
It's all right.
Too young.
She was too
22.
young. Yeah, I was 19. And we were sitting around the table having breakfast, must have been the weekend, and he said, right, there's 3 things you have to think about when you're having sex. And I was just like,
Where was your mum?
I don't know, probably doing some washing. She wasn't there. And then like our worker walks in and he goes, Cameron, we're giving Renee her sex chat. Have
Was
you
it
got any
just you
input?"
and your dad, or was there your other sisters
the
here?
other sister's probably cruising around, yeah. Oh, wow. And then he was just, I honestly can't even remember what he said now because I was mortified. And then he was like, use protection, like this.
Yeah.
And then
What were the second and third thing?
I honestly can't remember. He was like, there's 3 things. But then my poor boyfriend at the time, so then a couple of weeks later, they were out in the lounge and we had like the sliding door and we're like sitting drinking our Milos, just like, young love. And Dad walks past and he chucks a condom on the table and he chucks a rubber ring and he said, choose one. And then Jamie was obviously like, chose the condom, and he goes, good choice, and walked out.
What's the rubber ring?
Exactly. Jamie didn't know what that was either. And I was like, and he goes, what's this for? And it literally like denuts fucking cows. Like knackers them.
I thought it was like a ring to like you get married or you.
Like a rubber ring.
Different
Oh my
ring.
God.
Like that you put around and denagger like cows and sheep.
JK.
Savage.
Savage, eh?
5
Savage.
daughters, eh? That's
Like,
a good
you have to
approach.
be savage.
Yeah.
So I think about now, like if that was Thea, like I think that Hui will do that little, like I quite like the scare tactic. You have to have like good cop, bad cop.
Hard out.
You know,
do you
like-
think Hoy will be bad cop?
I don't know. It's really hard. Like he's real cruisy.
I think he'd be protective,
I
though.
think he'd be very protective, especially when it comes to Thea,
Yeah.
because we've got 2 boys and 1 girl.
So watch out.
So watch out. But I wanted to follow on about funnily enough, you just said about a dead dog. So we lost our dog last year and we were burying him and the kids were crying and it was really sad. And Thea's like, but why can't we just sit him outside my window so I can just see him all the time? And then I had to like talk about and it was just like this. So quite often when you're having these conversations,
You just
can't-
think of
you don't
stuff
just have
in the
time to think
moment,
about
eh?
it.
Yeah.
So I said, you know when you eat an apple and you leave it on the bench and it goes yuck.
Yeah.
I said, when your heart's not beating anymore and you're not pumping blood through your body goes yuck too. And she was like, oh. And I was like, that's
You're
why.
right. I'm true Sophia lately.
I think I said the dog turned to dust and dirt or something. And Frankie was like, and then made flowers. I was like, sure.
Yeah, babe.
He's like, but I still want to see the dust. I was like, just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep.
You do, but you do. You make stuff up and you're like, where did that come from?
Because
Yeah.
you're on the spot, you know. The
Yeah.
kids often say, like Mace goes, will Rico be bones yet? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't really want to think about it. But their heads go there, you know.
Yeah.
for sure. What was your education as a
Oh,
youth?
absolutely zilch.
Yeah.
Like it was literally. I was in a house load of girls. It was just like hectic periods and you know
Do you think
bitchiness.
with girls, like, because you're both from families of girls, right? Do you almost feel like because there's all girls in the house, it's almost not not a forced. Oh no, you don't have all girls. What am I talking about? Like, or you grew up with all girls, so it's like almost like you have to have these conversations because the 2 boys and Thea are around each other. And Poppy and Teddy are around each other, so they can see each other, so they know that there's differences.
totally.
Whereas when
Definitely.
you were growing up, like
Yeah,
the
there
2 of you,
wasn't.
it was a house full of girls, so maybe you weren't just exposed to, you know,
Dicks.
penises or nuts.
Oh, no, my
Wait,
dad walked
honestly-
around naked all the time.
No, but actually, when
Sauce dad. He won't mind.
He's like, as long as I can talk about politics on the podcast one day, I don't mind.
You must have your clothes on though.
yeah, I think there's some home truths to
Maybe? I
that.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know about dicks. And when I
Found out.
found out I was
Oh, it's
pregnant with
horrifying.
Ted, I was terrified. I was like, and I said to everyone, like, I literally don't know what to do with a dick. I've never dealt with a dick before because
What do you mean? You've got boyfriends.
no,
Like,
but I'm like, as
Literally
a child,
saying that you lost your virginity having Ted.
Oh no, no, but I don't know. Like, I don't know how to pee. Or I don't know how to wipe one. I don't
That's
know how
way
to
easier, by the way. Boys
Like,
were
it
easier.
was so weird. And I remember, like, because Ted was the first boy
his-
grandchild.
Oh, right.
My mum was even like, oh, I don't know about dicks. Like, this is odd. Like, we're gonna have to work it out together, babes. I was like, oh god.
I thought you meant the conception of Ted. That's where I went. and I
No,
was
no. Like, I
that's
mean,
the
like,
first time.
I'm having a boy.
Yeah.
I literally don't know how to
I was
like
too.
wipe a
That's
dick,
Bash's
sort of dick. Like, I'm just.
You don't
yeah.
have to be as well. You do have to be careful, but you don't have to worry about like the.
Yeah.
I found
you know.
it easier. Like
And
it's
Yeah,
just
same.
in and around and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But I kind of found like I think why, and I haven't been real scarred, but I remember someone like asking me, and it was so gross, and it doesn't hopefully happen now, but they're like, do you know what head is? And I was like 14. And I'm like,
It's literally going to happen to our 8-year-olds.
you know, and I'm like, I don't know what head is. And I actually had an older sister and I was like, Hayley, what's head? You know, like, I don't know. You don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell my kids about it because I don't want them to know that until they need to. So not yet, but like that kind of slang stuff. I got really bummed out. I was on the back of the bus on the way home from school and they were like, do you know what head is? And I was like, yeah. I had no idea.
I remember, speaking of buses, getting a fringe cut. God, I was a vibe. And I was like, felt real good. I was like, yes, I've got this fringe. Like, I'm feeling it. And then I was on a bus. Buses, fuck's sakes.
Cruel places.
And then this, like, one of the cool guys turned around and he goes, did you get a fringe to hide your forehead pimples?
Oh.
And I was like,
Yes.
probably, but like, don't be so mean. It was like,
just cruel.
Anyway, what I was going to ask you was, do you have the same approach to Santa, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny?
Ooh.
Yes. Yep. So Mace already knows, and he's only 9.
Wait, pre-warning if anyone's out there.
Oh, yes.
And your kids are around.
Yeah, turn it.
Cut it.
Yeah,
We're about to ruin your lives.
Yeah. And it was just fucking dickhead kids at school. I was so gutted. But when he asked, I wasn't going to lie because it already
love
is
what
a
you
lie.
told him.
Yeah. And I was like, now it's your job to keep the magic alive for the
Aw.
rest of the kids. We are going to create this magic, you
Yeah.
know. Do you know what? He could be true. We don't know. I've never seen him. But
Santa's never bought me a fucking present. Just saying.
you're on the naughty list.
Still waiting, Santa.
But I don't not because I love Christmas, like I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But if they ask me flat out to my face, when he did ask me, I was like, let's just talk about it later because the other kids were there. And then I was like, oh, just leave it and hopefully he doesn't ask. And he was like, Mum, can we have that talk now? And I was like, oh, I was real sad about it because it's so much fun
early,
when
eh?
you believe. So yeah, I 100% just like had a chat to him about it. And now he's really like, he loves being in on it. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
Mum. And I'm like, yes, mate.
Can I help you?
So
with
do
the
you
presents?
tell him that you buy the presents and pretend to be Santa?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yep.
Sweet. And so what about, does he still believe in Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy and stuff?
No.
No, nothing.
Well, no, I didn't go into them.
Okay.
But he's a smart kid. He just kind of figured it all out. Yeah. But I'm not going to go
sad
and like.
day, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's sad.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to go and
Yeah,
not lie about
you
it. But
don't
my
need to.
dad is funny about that because he was like, he loves Christmas and we're all into my mum it is amazing. We have the best Christmases. But he's kind of like, why does this big fat old guy get all the credit for what we do? Like,
That's
and he's
how I
always
feel.
like
Yeah, I
that.
feel like that too.
I got this from
And-
Santa. I'm like, you fucking Santa don't fucking piss.
Santa's not paying the bill, babes.
And so he's,
No, that's from me.
Yeah.
then
Mummy
he
and
says-
Daddy got you that one.
you always teach your kids not to lie and tell
Yeah.
the truth, and then you lie to them their whole lives.
Yeah.
That's his theory. And I kind of like, I'm with him on it, but like I'm also like, keep them as kids and
Yeah.
like make them believe in magic
Protect
and
them.
unicorns. And we've been watching, like Jackson and I watched The Little Mermaid, and he's like, are mermaids real? I was like, they could be. I've never seen one, but it's like, oh, because you don't know. Deep
No.
down in the ocean, there could be a little world down there.
Only 5% discovered.
That's right.
it.
On the Santa thing one night, again, before Frankie went to sleep, she goes, Mummy. I was like, yeah. She's like, is Santa watching me now? And I was like,
Yes.
oh, go to sleep.
He's not a predator, honey.
Like,
How do you, like, she's like, how does he know if I'm being naughty or nice then? And I'm like, I don't know.
I remember being a little bit scared
Ask
about
your
it, though.
preschool
Like,
teacher.
This fucking creepy old
Yeah, he's
massive
gonna,
guy
like, come down-
sneaks into your house.
Hard out.
and
Like,
get your presents.
eats the cookies from every house.
That's
like,
odd.
It's creepy.
That is
eh?
odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not into it. My kids watched this movie called Arthur Christmas. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a real good vibe. And they were like, oh, it's not even Santa, it's the elves. Like, those guys are awesome, you know? So I was like, oh, sweet. At least you don't have predator vibes.
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
yeah. The elves seem nice.
The
That
elves are
cancels it
great.
out.
They're so sneaky. Really clever, like ninja elves. So,
Going back to sex chat, I can remember like I think me and my siblings got all the same education from our mum. Like, but she used to have this bookcase on her shelf in her wardrobe.
Kama Sutra. Stop it.
And
was there a
that's how
Kama
we
Sutra
learned.
book?
No. Like, I think we all hit a certain age
And she was like-
there was a book.
Really?
And the book came out like pre-puberty, and it was like, what is happening to me?
Was
and
it
it got
full,
left
like,
on the bed,
70s
and it was
Bush?
like, it was like cartoon character. It was
Oh,
like
I
it was,
want to
was
get
it?
one of
Okay.
those.
and it was literally like, you know, like it went through just like puberty stuff, like periods, blah blah blah, And it was like just around the right time. And all she said was, I've left a book on the bed for you. You can keep it for as long as you want. And when you're finished with it, you can return it to my shelf. And I was like, that's real cute because you don't have to have this real
Awkward,
confronting conversation. And then when we got to a certain age, like and that book had gone back, there would be one that was like, where did I come from? It's like, there's a book on your bed. It was like the same little, and I was like, that's actually really cute when you think about it. But yeah, there was never any of these really hectic chats about like, anything. Like,
Birds and
But I
bees.
think too, like, so period chat. Like when I got my period, I literally thought I'd pooed my pants. Because it didn't like gush out in blood. It was like brown.
Yeah.
And it was jump rope day at Pihama Primary School. I can remember that day. And I was like, what is going on? And I still actually, it didn't click in my head.
I'm pooing out of my second hole. Reference from previous episode. Go back and watch it. That's not the first one.
We're good. We're good. Carry on.
The second one.
We're good.
And
Yeah,
like
it's
I got
terrifying.
home and then I was just like, I was nervous to say anything. And then Mum came into my room and Hayley's like, did she get it? Has she got it? Like her head's and then like, Mum's like, leave her alone. And then like we did it all. And the next day,
And then Dad came in.
right? Is that you good? And then the next day I said to my friend, I got my period. She goes, I got mine last month. I was like, why didn't you tell me? Because I felt so like, I was like gutted.
Yeah, terrified because you thought you were alone.
Scary.
Yeah.
I was like 11.
That's young, eh? I think it gets younger too.
Yeah, it does.
It's all the hormones.
It's like
in the chickens.
7-year-olds have it now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Forever.
How was your period, Situ?
I don't actually remember getting my first one, but I had friends who had already had theirs. So I was probably more like 13, 14.
Yeah,
But yeah, I had already, I think I probably learned from the book, but I think I'd had that conversation maybe I think I did have that conversation with Mum and she had like explained about pads and tampons and stuff. And I was terrified of trying to use tampons. I remember that. So I wore pads, but then I got sick of pads and I was just like, nah. But I think
like
it's cool.
that
Yeah.
going to a boarding school, perfect for those kind of situations. I remember like sitting on like the shelf and the sink and like there's a wall and teaching a girl how to use a tampon. I'm like, push it back, like and we all kind of
looked after each other.
yeah, you do,
Yeah,
because it's scary. Like I played sports all the time, did surf club and played netball. Like I couldn't just be in a pad.
Nah,
Like,
I think I
just-
lasted a month or something and I was like,
Yeah, couldn't do it.
yeah.
You're not a lover of tampons.
Still
are
in
you?
pads, guys.
Yeah.
True. Probably better for
Hate
your
a
body,
tampon.
when
Yes.
you think about it.
Yeah.
Hate a
Yeah.
tampon. I think it's so out of it that you would stick something inside your body and leave it there for hours on end. It's fucking yuck. Anyway,
Just a convenience.
it's just my thing. Soz guys.
Yeah.
I just think it's really unnatural.
100%.
I get it.
But anyway,
There's lots of
I
options
don't
these
remember
days.
when I
which is
got
cool.
mine.
Yeah.
Apparently, period undies are bomb.
Yeah, I want to try them.
I do too, but I remember listening to a podcast about someone wearing them and then her.
Does she have some leakage freakage,
Oh
babes?
no, she just like must have had it on and then she was getting her child to sleep and her daughter was like, Mummy, you smell like fish.
Oh, God.
And I was like, why?
It's a lot.
But I remember hearing that and it fully put me off. I was like, I'm not buying any. Like,
So interesting because
Have you tried them?
no, I haven't tried them, but yeah, I was going to ask you guys about this. When you have your periods, do your kids know?
Yes. Oh my God. I'm like, can you go grab me a tampon? And then they're running in and they're like concerned. I'm like, it's fine. It's just my period.
Right.
And then Jax is like, I'm not going to get that, eh? And I'm like, nope. Thea is though. She was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, not yet.
yeah, not yet.
But it will be soon.
Has Frankie ever seen you?
Nah, that's probably something that I'm like, I shut the door and lock it. Although she's figured out how to unlock the locked door. But
kid, eh?
if that happened, she would just, her mind would run wild though. Like
Yeah,
she
she's
would
just too little.
Yeah, but then I've heard other friends tell some really hilarious stories about like their sons seeing their mums put tampons in and then the boys will like head off to the bathroom and be squatting down trying to like put tampons
really?
in. I'm like, oh, they don't have two or three holes. But I just yeah, but I kind of haven't. I just don't. Maybe I just don't really feel ready to have that chat with her. I feel like she
Yeah.
already has lots going on in her head all
Yeah,
the time.
she's
anyway.
figuring
She's
out
a
a lot
real
of stuff.
thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but
Mm,
I like go
yeah.
to the toilet. Like, so we've got 2 bathrooms. We've got an ensuite.
That everyone uses.
Everybody
yours.
uses the ensuite. And like even kids in the morning, like I'm sure our neighbour has seen me like take a dump. Like she comes in, hi Renee, and I'm like, hi, because all our doors are always open and people coming in to
Shut the door.
I do. I'm like, shut the door, and they're coming in to brush their teeth while I'm on the
Yeah.
toilet, and I don't know, we're just super open.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
My
What about
kids-
you?
Well, because I use a pad, so my kids always see,
Yeah.
like if I go to the toilet, they're in the shower or whatever, they're like, Mum, have you got your period? And I'm like, yeah,
Cute.
I do. But they're sweet about it because I've explained like it's not bad, you know.
Not
like
gonna
that's,
bleed to
that's
death.
totally normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like normal blood that, yeah. So they're sweet with it. But they're very like, oh, I got it. Like,
Yeah.
don't
That
you get that?
sounds
That's
annoying.
Oh, have you
Super
got your
annoying.
Such
period
admin though, eh?
again?
You
Yeah.
never get used to the admin of it.
No. And it is cool because Poppy's like, she knows, like, she's like, I've said to her, like, you'll get it, you know, but Teddy won't. She's like,
I know, so unfair.
babes, the joys.
Yeah.
Joys.
But yeah, no, okay, well, that's good. Good advice. Couple
Well,
of different tactics.
Yeah, not advice. It's just how I do it. I don't like.
Yeah.
No, it's not everybody's
I'll
cup of
be
tea.
real interested to hear what other people call, like, their code names, you know, like the seed is called, like, the golden ticket in another house. I don't know. Be real interested to hear what, like, what
Yeah,
other
how everyone
people's-
else
Yeah.
approaches it. I'm keen to hear too because it's like there's lots of ideas and different
Yeah,
ways
yeah,
of doing it
totally.
as well. But I think, like you said, there's something really natural that comes to you when you have
Yeah.
these conversations,
Yeah.
and it's either you're either comfortable with it or you're not, or you're like, yeah, cool, this is like I'm ready for this chat.
I wonder
So-
if your mum's still got the books.
Oh, that's a good question. I'll ask her.
You need to ask
Yeah,
her.
I just loved it. I loved that approach. Like, didn't make anyone feel uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
I think back to it now and I'm like, so funny. Same spiel 8 times,
Yeah.
2 books, 4 kids. Like,
Boom,
this
done.
age. Like, here we
Boy
go.
or
We're
girl.
on.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, I
Not
haven't,
gender
thought
specific.
much to it. Like everything that's happened, even to me, is been on the spot.
Yeah.
you know. But like everyone, like when the kids ask me something and I don't know, I'm like, I don't know. We'll Google it. And so I just Googled sperm because I didn't. You know, I just saw it on the top of my head. And I think for those couple of things that had happened to me, like on the back of the bus, and
Yeah.
it maybe has triggered me. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to ever get a hard time for not knowing something. So I just
Yeah.
want to tell them the truth.
Which I think is a shame because, well, not a shame, but I think it sucks that someone made you feel that way because there's kind of something really beautiful about that level of innocence.
Oh,
when
I
you
know
should
about it.
probably,
Yeah.
but you probably, it's probably fine to still be really innocent.
Yes, and I see
You
now
know?
that there's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah.
Of course, like who you shouldn't know.
Yeah.
What, you know, it's nice not to know what that
And
is.
it's getting
Yeah.
younger and younger too, which is terrifying.
Yeah, it is
You know?
terrifying.
Yeah, it's a long time to be an adult.
But I think the seed, it's funny how there's like nuts with seeds inside, and then you talk about eating nuts and seeds. Although I'm off it.
Hard out,
You
eh?
can like milk the nuts, like almond. Almond
Can you
milk.
milk a cat?
Almond milk.
I've lost it. We're over.
So agree with you though. Like, and now we've got all these nut milks out there, and you're like, what's in your coffee? You having oat milk today? You having
From my
almond
nuts.
milk? But like
Oh, we don't want
the
the
milk
milk from
and
the
the
nuts.
seed is in the nuts. I don't know. I've
This
lost
is a
it.
very salty coffee. Right, guys, we've got to get out of here.
It's gonna get feral.
Good job.
Thanks,
mate.
girls.
Peace out, guys.
Look,
Bye.
I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and read it, you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plea.